today, one of the biggest problems in corporate America is trying to recruit and retain Generation Y. And part of that is because there's an extremely low unemployment rate among young people. And another reason is if they don't like your job, they just don't take it and they move back with their parents. More than 50% of those kids are moving back with their parents. So if you guys know anything about like having a BATNA, you know, when you're negotiating, well, who's got a better one than, okay, I'm not working, I'm going back with my parents. So you have to start offering really good jobs to a generation that doesn't need to work and has very high demands for work and has a ton of job offers at any given moment. So I'm going to tell you 10 things that they really want from their job, and then you guys can all go back and offer that. So the first thing is that they care about time and not money. And one of the most popular courses in the country right now is positive psychology. It's like in the 70s when feminism was really cool to take in college, and then in the 80s it was deconstructionism, and now it's positive psychology. And so everybody knows about it. All the young people know about it. And it's about the science of what makes you happy. It's not a mystery anymore. There are really cool people studying it. In fact, Stumbling on Happiness is a great book by a Harvard guy who's been studying it forever. And the bottom line is we know that financial happiness is relative to who you're with. So if you're an investment banker in New York City and you make $5 million, you're kind of living in poverty because your friends are making way more than $5 million. And if you live in Wisconsin and you're making $70,000, you're really rich because no one else on the block makes that much. So this is not news to young people, and when you tell them that you're going to motivate them by money, they're totally insulted. And another reason that they're insulted is because they think their time is worth more than their money, because the things that they want in life are time-oriented, not money-oriented. And in fact, it's probably the things you want as well, just you went about it differently, but I think we all really value the things that are about time, like relationships, and not money. So when you're trying to motivate people, you really need to talk about what they're going to do with their time and lay off the money, because it's a real turnoff. I mean, you have to deliver on the money, but don't harp on it. The second thing they want is friends. They know that the most fun thing to do is hang out with their friends. And so they think it's totally normal that they should be working with their friends. And in fact, this is not radical information about the workplace, because Gallup just released a big book about how if you have three friends at work, you'll be happy. And it doesn't matter if your job stinks, you'd still be happy, because what friends can do is help you cope with the unhappiness we have at work. And big surprise, everyone's got bad things going on at work. So you can't really promise someone, oh, this is the job where there's nothing bad, where everything is good and you're going to have a perfect time. You can't promise that. But you could promise that if you hire someone who's going to be able to be with their friends, then they're going to be able to cope with the big things that are bad. So you can't really, I mean, it would be nice if you could like hire a group of friends and tell everyone they can move around with their friends. That's an interesting HR initiative. But since probably you guys aren't going to do that, a better thing to do would be to just talk about culture and talk about why it's likely that this person is going to be able to make a friend, because it's very important to them. Number 3 is location. People are going to change jobs every 1.8 years until they're 32. That's the average person. So if you're going to change jobs that many times, you can't be like focusing on the great perfect company, because it's going to be great for so little time. You're better off focusing on the location of where you're going to be. And this is very consistent with that friends are important, that family is important, that quality of life is important. It makes sense that location would start to be very important. So if you want to sell someone on a job, you have to sell someone on the location. And if you're trying to sell a terrible city, you should go work with the city government to make it not so terrible, because it's going to be a really hard sell. And there are a lot of mid-sized cities that are pushing really hard to attract young people, like Austin or Columbus are hiring consultants to come in. And the reason is that young people understand that New York, LA, San Diego are very expensive places to live. They're very limiting in terms of how much money you have to make in order to have a lifestyle that's fun. And young people are exploring mid-sized cities. They're very open to it. If you have an affordable mid-sized city that you're recruiting out of, that's a great selling point. And I think people don't use it nearly as much as they could.